Hello, and in this podcast, just talking a little bit about some new research by a company called People Per Hour. And what they've discovered is that within about 5 years' time in the UK, most workers, or at least half of workers, will actually be freelancers. Now, this is an interesting prediction if it comes true. And more importantly, the question is, what does it mean for you? If you are someone who is either running a small business or thinking of running a small business. There's lots of implications. The first one is really that I think you need to improve your skills in the area of working with freelancers. That's if you own a small business or you're thinking of starting one. And because if it means that most of your, or a lot of workers that you'll need to run your business will be freelancers, it's important to know how to work with freelancers. And not just on the sort of legal side or in terms of payment and so on, because obviously it's different to have someone as a proper employee and have someone as a freelancer. It's different in terms of the regulations and so on. But even on the other side of it, in terms of human resources, so normally you have someone who's working for you and you've got to consider not just their pay and benefits and so on, you also have to consider how to manage them and motivate them. Well, it's exactly the same with a freelancer. Just because they're a freelancer doesn't mean that there's no issues in terms of motivation or in terms of generally managing their performance and what you're getting out of them and so on. So it's exactly the same with freelancers, but it's a different skill set being able to manage them. So that's a big consideration. The other one is that if you're thinking of starting out in business, then there may be opportunities to freelance if you want. If you can look at it as maybe testing out the water to see if working for yourself is something that is something that you'll really enjoy. And there may be opportunities to freelance and still maybe keep your normal job. There may also be opportunities to, and I've seen this being done by quite a lot of people, where they'll have their main business, whatever that is, and they'll actually use freelancing as a way to, if you like, diversify. So maybe try out different, offering different services and so on that they may not want to fully launch, and they'll maybe test that out by freelancing. So, for example, you may be a business that does graphic design, and you decide that you want to go into web design, but you're not yet quite sure if that's the right thing to do and so on. So you might decide that you're going to launch that as a freelancer and see where that takes you. And you'll learn more about providing that kind of a service. And then from there, you may want to actually fully commit to properly launching into web design. That's just an example. But that's an area where you see a lot of people going into freelancing. In fact, some you'll find actually start out as freelancers and then they generate enough work as freelancers that they actually then launch businesses off the back of being a freelancer. And you see this a lot on, if you want to learn more about freelancing, just go onto various freelancing websites, and how they work is really, they're like a marketplace where if you need some work done, maybe you need a website done, you can go there and you specify the job that you need done, and then various freelancers will bid on that work, and you can look at their profiles and see their rating and so on, and their feedback scores and the like. So if you want to know more about freelancing, I'd suggest you go and check out a few freelancing websites, either as someone that wants to provide a service or someone that wants to potentially purchase a service from a freelancer. And that'll give you a better idea of how it all works. And you'll be better positioned as we go into the next few years as freelancing grows. So if you're learning from the virtual marketplace, you'll be better placed to actually understand freelancing and benefit from it, and avoid the challenges of it, or minimize the risks of it, if in fact, in the real world, as in the offline world. Because like anything else, any other new change or any other kind of a growing trend, it's easier to benefit from it if you are used to it, if you like, rather than if you just sit back and wait, and then when change really hits you, you're wrong-footed and you don't know what to do. So if you don't know much about freelancing, start learning, because it's a growing trend, and it's likely to affect you. Thank you. This is David from smallbusinesspage.org. Talk to you again soon.